What business was successfully boycotted? The OG Charles Boycott, whom the tactic is named after. Boycott was a land agent, the muscle, enforcing English landlord rules on local Irish. Local activists of the Irish National Land League encouraged boycotts employees, including the seasonal workers required to harvest the crops on Lord Ern's estate, to withdraw their labour, and began a campaign of isolation against boycott in the local community. This campaign included shops in nearby Ballinrobe refusing to serve him, and the withdrawal of services. Some were threatened with violence to ensure compliance. In 1984, 11 Dunnes Stores employees, predominantly young women, in Dublin, Ireland began a nearly 3-year strike after shop worker Mary Manning was suspended for refusing to handle South African produce. This act of defiance against the apartheid regime led to Ireland banning South African goods, becoming the first Western nation to do so. According to my dad, his boycott of Quiznos has led to their demise. I mean, no so much a business, but a movie. The initial previews for the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie were so poorly reacted to, that they reanimated and delayed the movie. And it worked out well for them. Bank of America. I used to work for Merrill Lynch post-2008 Great Recession. They were purchased by Bank of America. Around 2010 or 2011, Bank of America rolled out with a $5 a month ATM fee for all accounts. Lots of people got pissed over this $5 fee. So much so that millions of deposits left Bank of America to other banks. It wasn't long before Bank of America rolled back and removed that $5 fee a month. They never publicly disclosed how much money left the bank. You better believe if customers just accepted that $5 fee, it wouldn't be long before all the other banks adopted that fee. It's great to see the collective customer base stand up and revolt to make a change in the big corporations' behavior. Backcountry.com. Jonathan Nielsen killed the company by suing people and trying trademark the term backcountry. Guy is a masterclass loser turning a massively successful company into dust being on a power trip. People started boycotting after multiple lawsuits were filed by Nielsen's regime in 2019. Company was sold in 2024 after a crash course in not fucking with your clientele. Just recently, Wasserman Talent Agency's CEO got named in the Epstein files. Tons of artists on the roster expressed their feelings about it and threatened to leave. So Wasserman stepped down as the CEO and they rebranded. The Great Boycott, led by the Farm Workers Union, for better pay and working conditions. Everyone with a heart in the USA got on board. No one bought grapes. Company called Artesian Builds that sponsored streamers and ran PC giveaways. One time the CEO streamed a giveaway, and the initial winner was chosen. The CEO provided to look over and berate every aspect of the streamer's admittedly low view count and stream schedule. But that wasn't the point of the giveaway, nor was it outlined that you needed any credentials to be a winner. Yet he looked over nearly every stream stat and practically tore this guy down, all to justify choosing someone else who would promote the company to a wider audience, prioritizing his company over the very audience he hoped to cultivate. Needless to say, his company lost so much business they went bankrupt in 2022. Target's a perfect example of corporate performative activism. They'll slap a pride flag on their storefront in June, then fold the second there's organized pressure from the other side. It's all about quarterly earnings, not actual values. US alcohol in Canada. In Adelaide, Australia, Starbucks opened in 2007 and permanently closed in 2008 after people boycotted it as their coffee is considered massively inferior compared to the local independent coffee shops. It is still not present in Adelaide to now. Additional tidbit about Adelaide, it also is the only place in the world where a milk drink, local Farmers Union iced coffee, outsells Coca-Cola at a rate of about 2:1. Kat Von D. People boycotted for Kat Von D herself being an anti-vaxxer and a Nazi sympathizer. Brand got renamed before it completely fell off. Lime crime. Doe Deer, the creator and owner, was an awful person, left the company but the company still went under because the name had been tarnished. Edit. Apparently lime crime is still around. It still lost a lot of its original market space though. Public transit in Montgomery, Alabama. Edit. During the 1950s civil rights movement, since not everyone on Reddit is American. My bad. You snide commenters can put your pitchforks down now. Honestly, the most interesting part of the Bud Light thing was how fast InBev managed to alienate both sides of the argument within about a week. You had conservatives outraged over a single promo can, then the company panicked and disavowed it, which immediately alienated the people who thought they were doing the right thing in the first place. Classic case of trying to please everyone and ending up with nobody. Arguably the Boston Tea Party, which was itself simply one event tied to a much broader boycott of British tea imports as a protest against the new taxes. It was actually boycotts against all British imports that caused the British to roll back all of those taxes except the tax on tea. Hence the party. Widespread orange juice boycotts lost Anita Bryant. https://en.wikipedia.org wiki Anita_Bryant. Her job as a spokesperson for the Florida Citrus Commission when she went on an anti-gay political crusade. And the Great Boycott supporting the Agricultural Workers Organizing Committee helped the union win rights for thousands of workers. https://en.wikipedia.org wiki_Delarno_grape_strike. The men responsible for the murder of Emmett Till were Roy Bryant and J.W. Millam. Bryant owned the small store in Money, Mississippi, where the initial encounter happened with Carolyn Bryant. After the trial and especially after they later admitted to the killing, there was a lot of backlash. The store lost business and eventually shut down. Boycotts from the local black community were definitely part of that, along with broader public outrage and the stigma tied to the case. Live Strong and Lance Armstrong. After the doping scandal came out, people stopped buying the yellow bracelets almost overnight. It went from being everywhere to basically disappearing. The brand never really recovered. Wendy's Junior Bacon Cheeseburger went to like 1.49 or something in 2005 and then got boycotted, and they brought that back down to 0.99. Such a W for everyone. I gotta say Spotify, they stopped running those ICE recruitment ads after their stock dipped. The entire country of South Africa. I'm kinda surprised nobody has mentioned the Montgomery bus boycott during the civil rights movement. https://en.wikipedia.org wiki_Montgomery_bus_boycott. The entire black population of Montgomery, Alabama boycotted the bus companies for over a year and chose to carpool or walk instead. It's like the textbook example of nonviolent direct action by workers against capital achieving its goals. ABC Disney after they suspended Jimmy Kimmel. Not a company but the Bud Light brand from Anheuser-Busch is a relic of what it once was.